Today I'm sharing with you how I made our Little Mermaid purse using napkins and a plain canvas bag for our recent trip down to California Adventure Disney. You're going to start with some Little Mermaid napkins. Of course, you can use this with any kind of napkin that you choose. And I color matched some Diamond Dots gems to my napkin. I'm using fabric Mod Podge for this, and the first step is to go ahead and separate those plies of the napkin. You're only using that top printed ply. So this napkin's a little bit wrinkly, so I'm just going to give it a press. If your napkin wasn't very wrinkly, you could probably skip this step. Then the next thing that I like to do is go ahead and measure my bag. I'm going to cut my napkin down to size to fit, and I should say that you can get these bag blanks at most of the craft stores. This one in particular came from Hobby Lobby. So I'm just going to go ahead and press in some seams. Those are going to be my cutting lines, and I'm just using that ruler there to measure out my napkin. But you can do this any which way that you want. You just want to make sure that you cut your napkin to fit the top of the bag, and then just trim it down to size. I usually place my napkin onto my bag just to get some lines or some markings for where I'm going to cut it. Now this one's got that zipper, so I'm going to add a little bit at the top, also using the other part of the napkin. So now that everything's cut down, we're going to use our fabric Mod Podge. This is a much thicker formula if you're used to the regular Mod Podge, and I'm just applying that directly to the bag right up to that zipper seam. Each one of these bags is a tiny bit different, so you may have to alter this depending upon the canvas bag that you use. This works on tote bags, string backpacks, you name it. 100% cotton works best. So now you're just going to smooth that napkin down with your fingers, and I'm being pretty gentle because the paper napkin, it could tear. So you want to be gentle, but you do want to make sure that it's stuck down and you can rub out all the wrinkles with your fingers. Now for that bottom edge, you can go ahead and trim away any of the extra. And then I like to go in with a little bit more of the fabric Mod Podge, and I make sure that all of those side seams and the bottom seam are really well glued down with the fabric Mod Podge. This works best with fabric Mod Podge. You might have success with gloss matte or satin, but I prefer to do this type of a project with the fabric formula. Now for this project, I'm not top coating because a lot of the Mod Podge went through my napkin, but if you wanted to, you could add a top coat on top, and that would make it machine washable. Now for the top, I'm just adding that little purple strip across there, and I'm still smoothing out all of those wrinkles with my fingers. Now at this point, I'm gonna let this dry for a couple of hours before I add my gems. I'm using those tiny gems like you use for diamond painting, and this is just gem glue here. Now again, if you wanted to make this machine washable, you would top coat with a coat of fabric Mod Podge. I'm not planning on washing this, so I didn't do the top coat. Now I'm using a wax pencil or a grease pencil to attach my gems, and you can just fill in using the design of the napkin as your guide. Look at that cute earring, add a couple of gems there. And we're gonna add some gems to her eyes just to give them a little bit of sparkle, and all along the different edges of her dress. To finish off the design, I'm just adding a tassel to the zipper pull. You could also add some charms here. Look how cute and easy from napkin to purse. Thank you so much for joining me. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe.